That's right. That's right.
Are we ready, Melissa? Your end. I can see that it's being live streamed. I just want to make sure. Didn't think she was going to be back.
Just put.
Yes, we are golden. Go ahead and call us to order.
Hey, wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for being here. The time being 9:01, I will call this meeting to order. Melissa, will you please call the roll?
One moment. I have someone in the waiting room. Okay, for the board of directors, Director Thompson.
Here.
Director Nelson.
Here.
Director Taylor.
Here.
Director Dovenspike.
Here.
Director Clausen.
Here.
Director Johnson. Tara, can you say here again one more time? I didn't. Okay, here. You're coming across really quiet, just so you know. Director VC.
Here.
All right, for the advisory committee, Lauren Morris.
Just unmute.
Here. Thank you. Cynthia Ramirez. Michael Babcock. Lindsay Ward. Michelle McIntyre. Richard Rogers.
Here.
Karen Dubasar.
Here.
And we also have with us Jane Stebbins and
Morning.
Jennifer. Good morning. And Jennifer Boardman. Jennifer has. All right. Thank you. And we also have an individual on the phone. Would you like to introduce yourself?
If they're just here for a public comment, we can wait for that.
Yeah. Very good. Back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Board or staff, do we have any changes to the agenda before we move on?
We'll have one addition under new business. Jennifer Boardman will be giving a funding update.
Wonderful. Ooh, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Will that be item E then, or do we want to move it to the front?
My recommendation is to add it at the top of new business.
Okay. And we will do that. Any other changes to the agenda? Hearing none, thank you. We will move on to item 4, citizen comments on agenda items limited to 3 minutes per person. Public comment in a meeting is a one-way communication where the public shares input on the record without expecting a dialogue or direct response. Melissa, do we have anybody for a public comment on an agenda item? Or if you're here for a public comment, just unmute yourselves and share your name and go ahead. Or if you're here for the public comment at the end, then just hang tight.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Finally. I had to unmute myself a bunch of times. I tried to. So I'd like to make a public comment if that's okay at this time.
Go right ahead.
I'm Mary Rowe. I live in Coos Bay. I ride the dial ride because I am 72 and physically disabled. I should probably ask if you can hear me okay.
We can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. I am asking if it is possible to hire another driver. Recently, when the dispatcher, who also drives sometimes, went on vacation, the backup dispatcher had to drive the dial-a-ride a few times rather than be in the office dispatching. She did her best, but if she had gotten sick, there would have been even more of a problem than her not being able to cover dispatch at times. And now that she is off work for a while, the main dispatcher also has to leave the office unattended to drive. Surely hiring another driver is important. Is it possible to do so?
All right, thank you. We have anybody else for a public comment on an agenda item? Going once, twice, three times, we'll move on. Thank you. I'll close the public comment section. A board, that moves us on to item 5, which is our consent agenda, which has our board minutes from October 13th from our board meeting, the financial report and balance sheet for September 2025, a contract ratification. Board, do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
I move the consent agenda be as presented, accepted.
I second that.
We have a motion in a second from Director Vesey and Director Johnson to approve the consent agenda as presented. Board, is there any discussion, comments, amendments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye.
I
Opposed, say no. Abstention, the motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, old business, to which there is none, which moves us to 7A. And our new 7A, for anybody who's just joining us, is a funding update from Jennifer Boardman. I'll pass it off to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. And I apologize. I've got a really bad cold, but I will do my best and hopefully you can hear me. So as far as funding, the government shutdown, I understand, just came to an end as of yesterday, I believe, is what I heard. I don't know if that is fact. Every year, the FTA does shut down their funding. So we scramble in the summertime to try to get all of our grants submitted to them in a quick fashion so that they can approve them before the shutdown. They did just reopen their tram system on Thursday of last week. So we have several funds that we are waiting on approval and hoping to get that approval for those funds, specifically 5310 funds, which are for older adults and individuals with disabilities. Our original estimate from FTA was that we would have those items funded by the end of December, or it could be February. So we're still waiting on details of that funding. For the STIF, as you all know, there was a special session that was held by the legislature of Oregon. And they did do a temporary increase of the transit funding from 0.1% to 0.2%. However, that funding is not a continual funding. It does have a sunset on it. So it's basically about 1.5 years worth of funding that would be additional. In addition to the passing of that, and many of you probably have heard in the news that there is, the governor has to sign it. Then once the governor signs it, there is a group that has filed a referendum, which is they want to put a pause on that funding. And we will not know 100% on whether or not we get the additional funding until after they have collected their signatures for the referendum, which they will be collecting over the rest of this month and December. And then it goes to the Secretary of State, who certifies those signatures. So it is a process. If the referendum passes, then the funding will go to a vote of the people. And what we have heard is that that vote will not take place until November. So during that time, we do not get the additional funding for the STIF. It is not collected according to what I have heard. And there's a lot of stuff swirling about that because this is a new territory for everybody. So we are waiting to hear whether or not the group gathers enough signatures. If the funding, if the referendum does not go through, then we should be receiving additional funding, which is doubling of what you currently have, starting in July of 2026. So we're hoping that that funding will go through. It is limited duration, and a lot of agencies are trying to figure out how they can utilize those funds to the best use, because they are limited funding. A lot of agencies are looking at their capital, so looking at their fleets and going to be replacing fleets, because that is something that they can purchase. It's a one-time purchase and they don't have to depend on it. A lot of them are looking at improving their software, improving any of their capital. You all with your facility, you know, you might be able to apply those funds to your facility. With that said, you have opportunity to add funding to your current STIF plan. So when we get the estimates, which I've been told that they are going to be coming on the 20th of November, so these are rough estimates of what the additional funding will be, then you would be able to, well, Melissa, she gets to do it. She gets to put forward an amended grant to include those additional funds. Now, can you create new projects? No. The way that the rule is written for amending a plan, you can add to existing projects and you can add to your total projects. So some agencies have been talking about just putting it into their reserves and then using it for their next STIF plan. Because guess what? Here's more funding news. Your STIF plans are going to be coming around next year. You're going to have to start working on your 27, 29 STIF plans. So that's going to happen late summer of 26. And in the meantime, we do have a grant funding opportunity that's coming right away that will be for capital projects. It's going to be 5339. We're looking for projects, and this is funding that we have gathered that is going to go away if we don't utilize it. So what we're looking for, and a lot of folks are going to probably be planning for, is fleet replacements, and partly because everything requires a NEPA. And if you don't already have your NEPA in place, as Melissa knows, the NEPA process is very arduous and long and has twists and turns all the time. So these funds that are coming up are going to be available for capital type projects that require minimal NEPA. And then in addition, it's going to be time to do your 27-29 federal grant. So the changes that are happening with the federal grant cycle, we typically would go July 1 through June 30th for a biennia. Our funding comes from the feds, whose fiscal year starts in October. So starting in 2027, our fiscal year for the formula funds, which are your 5310 and your 5311, are going to start being distributed October. So their start date will be October. So that's a change. So that includes, you will have from July 1 through September 30th, which is basically that first quarter, where you're going to have to come up with additional funding to cover that gap period. The reason that ODOT is moving to the fiscal year of the feds is because we were constantly having to come up with funding to cover all of these expenses that we were, everybody got their federal funds, but we never got the funds. We didn't get them as when you were getting them. So we were having to use other funds to help offset those initial costs. So by moving it to the federal fiscal year, it'll make it so that those funds should be available and you won't have delays. Melissa, was there anything else you wanted me specifically to cover?
So Jennifer, can you also we're anticipating that federal funding for 5310 and 5311 will be reduced. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. The one thing, so the Yes, more than likely it will be reduced. There's a lot of uncertainty as far as what the feds are going to do and what their priorities are. But most agencies, and this is something Julie Brown, who is the chair of the OTC, but she's also the president of the CTAA, which is the Rural Transit Association of America. They have been talking with their legislators back in Washington, D.C., and there is a lot of uncertainty. And so counting on the federal funds it's tenuous. I mean, you just have to make sure that you have a good plan. And then again, the state funding is not 100% certain either. So there's a lot of uncertainty right now in funding. And so it's really important. And you guys are very fortunate because Melissa is very fiscally sound. And so she's got a plan. But there's going to be a lot of moving parts over the next 2 years and a lot of decisions that have to be made on what is the most important services that you as a transit district provide, how to utilize the money, getting partnerships. I'm really encouraging all of the agencies within Region 3 to look at cooperative buying, because that way it allows you to stretch your funds a lot further. So looking at partnerships with Curry and Douglas and even Josephine County are some of the things that would be really beneficial for you all. And I'm hoping to get some meetings scheduled over the coming months to talk about this. So I'm sorry to be a downer on a Monday, but funding is just, it's not what it used to be, for sure.
So, and I'll just add, so what that means for the board of directors and for our advisory committee, who often serve on the budget committee, we'll be working on several scenarios, because it could be a feast or it could be a famine. And so we will want to put in place an easy way to identify what our core services are, and then from there be able to scale up or scale back as funding fluctuates, basically. And so that will require multiple conversations over January, February. Traditionally, we have had one budget meeting in April, and then in May, we then approve that budget, adopt it, and I think we'll need to start earlier. So that's just a heads up, and we'll be need to identify those advisory committee members who are willing to serve on the budget committee, maybe as early as next month. So I'll be sending out those budget committee applications, encouraging folks to apply for that role.
Yeah, definitely want to have more than one scenario, because like I was mentioning, we think that we're going to get the doubling for at least that short term. It's a sunset funding. However, you also have to plan for not having that funding, and then also a reduction in the possible reduction in the federal funding. And I don't know that, I think that that's what I'll say. One other thing that I would mention is that I am going to be doing a board training for Umpqua, and I have invited Curry board members and some other transit agency boards. And so I will send Melissa that information, and you all are welcome to attend. It's going to be on a Monday evening from 4 to 5:30, and it'll be virtual, so you can attend virtually, but it'll provide basically, here are the things that you as a board member should be doing. So wanted to give a plug for that.
And then since we're coming out of the shutdown, hopefully we'll hear about our 8.8 million in 5339 funding.
Exactly. I anticipate that we probably will hear before the end of the month. It's a little bit later than it typically would be, but I'm sure it had to do with the government shutdown.
Yep.
Any questions, or did I overwhelm you with all my wonderful, my Eeyore message?
Questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you for watching out for us.
Yeah, thank you. All right. There's no action that needs to be taken at this moment, right? From this, okay.
No action at this time,
Thank
just
you.
information.
Wonderful. Okay, so we will then move on. Thank you, Jennifer, for that. Yes, we'll move on to our next item, which is our agency safety plan. Safety is a core value at CCAT. The agency safety plan documents our comprehensive strategy and establishes the framework of a safety management system that facilitates the implementation, maintenance, and ongoing enhancement of processes designed to protect the safety of our employees and the public we serve. I believe we heard a short presentation on this at our last couple of board meetings. It's coming back to us for, I think, final approval. And you either have it in your packet or it is online, the agency safety plan. Yeah. Melissa, do you have anything further on this?
The document has been reviewed by ODOT and staff are recommending that the board approve.
Board, I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve, adopt the agency safety plan.
Second. We have a motion and a second to adopt the CCAD agency safety plan. Board, is there any further discussion, comments?
I like it that we're doing it because it shows we're progressive, we're looking out for the best interest of everybody, and it's important.
Thank you. Anything else? Any of our virtual board members out there? Feel free. Hearing none, I will call the question. All in favor of adopting the agency safety plan, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Abstentions. We have an updated safety plan. Congratulations. Thank you, all the staff who went into this. I would like to thank our safety committee. Everybody who was a part of this. I was reading it last night and it's very in-depth and comprehensive. So thank you so much for that. Board, we will now move on to our CCAT health stipend for 2026. Per policy, the board of directors reviews the health insurance stipend this time of year and establishes the stipend amount for the following year, as health insurance premiums in 2026 are seeing a premium increase of 15%. Staff recommended that health insurance stipend for 2026 increased from $5,983 to $6,880. The stipend is taxed. Staff direct their stipend as they see fit for their medical needs. Do you have anything on this, Melissa, or can we move it into that?
I don't have any further information to provide to the board. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to address them.
Staff had asked for a motion and then we could go into
Move
discussion.
to approve the health stipend as presented.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the health stipend as presented. Board, are there any questions, comments?
Well, without our staff, we're in trouble.
I would agree to that.
So we need to support our staff any way we can. And they do a tremendous job.
Melissa, I'm assuming without doing the math that that's a 15% increase in the stipend.
Yes. Let me just, wait. Let me just, for grins. Yep, 15%.
That seems reasonable. 15% increase is actually fortunate. Others are seeing 20 to 25% increase.
Anything further? Anything else? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of the health stipend as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Abstentions, the motion carries and is approved. Thank you. Board, that moves us to the item C, holiday one-time salary adjustment. Melissa, I'll let you take that one if you have anything.
So it is our annual practice in the past that we do a one-time salary adjustment in December. This adjustment is then distributed at the staff holiday gathering. And for part-time staff, that's less than 30 hours a week. The recommendation is that the one-time salary adjustment be $100 net. And for full-time, that's 30 hours or more schedule per week. Then they get a net $200 one-time salary adjustment. The estimated total payout for all staff is $3,517.
Thank you.
Question, did you say that this is going to be a net amount for them, that you're gonna give more, take taxes out, and they're gonna see that as a
Yeah.
net amount?
Yeah, as a net. So it's 100 plus fringe and 200 plus fringe.
I think it's nice that we appreciate our staff at this time, so, and keep up that tradition.
Anything further? I take a motion.
I motion that we go ahead and give them their one-time salary adjustment in December.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the holiday one-time salary adjustment. Is there any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Abstentions, the motion is adopted. Thank you. Board, that now moves us to resolution 2025-6, assigning signatory power to general manager. I'll read the background on this. The district has entered into an agreement to purchase property and construct new facilities. To avoid delays in securing essential purchase and construction related contracts, staff proposes assigning signatory power to the general manager to execute agreements not governed by state purchase and procurement statutes. Board, before us, we have resolution 2025-6. I would ask for a motion before there's any
I
comments.
move to approve resolution 2025-6, assigning a sanitary power to the general manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Board, is there any comments on this? Melissa, do you have anything? Go ahead.
I just like that there's some continuity. Melissa knows what's going on, and it's just best to keep the continuity up. Thank you, Melissa, for all that.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hearing nothing further, I'll call the question. All in favor of resolution 2025-6, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Opposed, say no. Abstentions. The resolution is adopted. Thank you. Board, that now moves us on to item 8, which is our general manager's report. Melissa, feel free to take it away.
Thank you. First, we have some good news. The FTA has granted us permission to move forward with a land disturbance at the LeClaire and Newmark property. That means we can move forward with the archaeology shuttle probe as well as the geotechnical survey. The geotechnical survey allows us to determine how tall the piers need to be to support the foundation work that we'll be doing at this location to mitigate risk associated with liquefaction. So this is all really good news, and it keeps us on track for our escrow close in January. Next up, next Monday, there is a Medicare workshop, and we've been invited to have an information table. So we will have staff person there assisting individuals with paratransit applications and general information on how to ride the bus. And lastly, Dean is working on the let's improve our signage on our fixed routes. And so we have a couple concepts that have been drafted. This one, so concept 2 is the royal blue, and concept 1 is the navy blue. And so I'm looking for, from a design perspective, some feedback from the board as to what you like about these concepts. Is there one that stands out to you more than the other? And then I'll ask our marketing folks to finalize the set, and we're going to work on green line first. And we're going to take it one municipality at a time.
These are phenomenal. I am so excited. It's hard to know exactly where the stops are sometimes. This is amazing. Good job.
I like number 1 because number 1 is always the best. But also, by going by the library, they have the Florence one there, and it, you know exactly. They have a very good picture that you can utilize, and it's very helpful for people like me that want to figure stuff out. So I think those are excellent. It's brighter. It's even though the other one, not concept 2, isn't bad. I just like the brighter blue. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I tend to lean towards concept 1 also. I think it stands out. The CCAT stands out better. I like the bus stands out. So yeah.
I agree. Concept 1 jumps out at you more.
Well, maybe I'll just be fun and choose concept 2.
Oh,
That's
right.
fine. Go ahead.
I slightly prefer concept 1.
All right, so thank you for the feedback, and I will start working with our designer in shoring up concept 1. Thank you very much. That is all I have.
We have a
for
quick
the
question from Shira real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Melissa, I'm not sure that I caught all of that Medicare workshop. The time of day and where, I didn't catch.
She didn't throw.
Yeah, it starts at 9 a.m. Hold on 1 minute and let me pull up my notes. It's at the Baptist Church in North Bend, right there by the VA clinic. And I believe it goes until noon. It's a combination of presentation on how do you apply for Medicare, and then there'll be the information tables. And I can send the board out the flyer following the meeting via email.
That'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
Any other questions, comments for Melissa? Wonderful report. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the good news, the one piece of really good news today. Lots of things happening in the world. It's nice. Especially on a Monday, you need good news on Monday. Set the tone. Hearing nothing further, thank you so much, Melissa, for all your work. And I will move us on to item 9, which is citizen comments on non-agenda items. Also, again, limited to 3 minutes per person. Again, public comment in a meeting is a one-way communication where the public shares input on the record without expecting a dialogue or direct response. Do we have anybody out there in the internet universe with a non-agenda public comment? 3 minutes per. Anything from the gallery?
Anybody?
On once, twice, 3 times? Okay. Thank you so much. Board, our next meeting is December 8th, 2025. You have a comment, go right ahead.
Okay, if you ride the bus from Coos Bay at 7:15 in the morning and you plan on going to Eugene, it doesn't leave till 2:30 in the afternoon, so you get a 5-hour wait
In Florence.
in Florence.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't go to the casino anymore. It goes to the cash and carry because we just did this 2 days ago, my son.
Mhm.
But coming back, it's perfect. You can catch it, Eugene, cash and carry there, and come to thing and arrive at the library at 7:15. So we might have to look at a possibility
Mhm.
of the time frame. I'm not saying that you don't want to be in Florence for 4 or 5 hours, and if you're going to progress on in the bus, but that just want to give a heads up.
Yeah.
But coming home, it's perfect. Yeah, my son takes advantage of it all the time.
I saw how it worked coming home because I was on the
Coming
road
home's
right
money.
then. I saw both of them. I saw the bus getting into Florence and I passed the bus that's
Yeah.
coming, from Eugene. So I knew they were connecting there.
And they do have a sign at the cash and carry saying it is the one that, so just like our signage,
Right.
you know exactly that it goes to Eugene and to Coos Bay type thing, which is positive. Thanks, Miss Boardman or Melissa, whoever got involved in that, I appreciate that. Keep working on signage.
Whoever's not.
Yeah, Link Lane goes 3 times a day between Eugene and Florence. So I will, unless they curtailed that. So I will look into that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Any other comments?
I have one. The SDAO conference is in February. And I believe if any of us attend, we get a discount on our annual insurance of like, I don't know, 1% or something. I went last year and found it to be beneficial. So we also got a partial scholarship. I don't know if that's an option this year with the change in funding, but it's a good time to save the date on your calendar if you're interested and talk to Melissa about possibilities for attending.
You said February?
Yeah, it's February 5th is the pre-conference, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th is the actual conference, and it's in Seaside this year, which is a long drive for us, but at least you're not dealing with the snow that I dealt with when I went last year. That was pretty phenomenal.
You still like that anymore? Thank you. Jennifer Boardman, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I
Please
just
do.
wanted to let you know that there is scholarship funds, even though we have a shortage of some federal funds, because we had a period of time where we didn't have in-person trainings. We have a large amount of the training funding that has to be used for training. So I highly recommend applying for the scholarship for the SDAO, and you should do it you have to do it at least 30 days in advance of the training. So definitely get that in. And if you need that link, I can send that to Melissa and she can get that out to you.
So thank you. Anything else? Speak further. Board, thank you so much for being here with us. Like I said, our next meeting is December 8th, 2025, 9 a.m. Hope you all have a wonderful Monday and a wonderful rest of your week. And we'll adjourn this meeting at 9:40.